Okay, it's Saturday night. It's 10 to 7 in the evening. Now I'm doing what I guess most of you will be doing on a Saturday night at 10 to 7, and that is starting to sand down my frame and clean it up a little bit before it goes in for welding. So what I thought I'd share with you, what I've always found really useful, is just a wire brush end in a normal drill. Now these are it's really good for putting that first bit of, taking off that first layer of metal before you get the sandpaper out and you're into blisters and all the rest of it. So as you can see, I've already had a go with this down on these edges, and you see how nicely it cleans up and comes up. So what I'm thinking is run over all of these cast areas of the frame. I don't know if you can see here, that's the standard finish. Run over that with the drill. You can see I've done this side here, and then perhaps get the frame coated or anodized, either silver or perhaps a clear sort of anodized on there, to save having to maintain the finish. But I'm going to go and see the anodizers once all the welding's done and get some options from them. But I'll just run this over and I'll show you how well it cleans this up. There we go. I think you can see, well hopefully you can see the sort of finish we're getting on that now. It's taken out some of those cast marks, and I think if I was just to run some high grade sandpaper over that now, we could get rid of that cast effect. I've already taken, been round the frame in places where I had some small marks, like here when I was doing the cutting out there, the angle grinder slipped and I put a little nick in there. So I've tried to take that out, and hopefully with some sandpaper now I can get rid of that. So there we are. So that's where we are. I'm hopefully going to take it down to the machine shop, Artec Engineering in Emsworth on Monday or Tuesday, and I'm going to speak to them about doing the fabrication, putting on the templates. These templates here, which I've made up. This one is for this side. Will go on like this. I'll drop them down the engine and all of this, and say basically get it in there, make these up, probably 10mm alloy, get them welded on here like so. I also need, on this bottom mount, this is a 10mm hole at the moment, I need that taken out to 12mm so I can use the 1000 swinging arm bolts, because they're slightly thicker, and if you use the 10mm ones, obviously it rattles around in the frame slightly, so we don't want that. So that's another job they need to do for me. Okay, so it's Thursday the 30th of October. I've sent my frame off to the fabrication shop, Lynn's Fabrication, to open up this lower mount. So it's a 12mm mount now. So what they've basically done for me is two things. Let me unscrew this and I'll show you. So first of all, this is the lower, this is the 1000 12mm bolt. So normally the CBR, the 900 has a 10mm bolt, and obviously when that runs through the bottom of the engine, it has a 12mm hole in the bottom of the engine. So with the 10mm spindle, there was a bit of movement within that. So what I basically had them do was open this out, these holes out here, to 12mm, so I can use the 1000 spindles, and also do the same on the castle nut, run that through so it's a 12mm as well. I didn't want to do it myself, of course, because it had to all be level and in line, or the engine would be wonky when it was in. So I also had them, I shortened, this is actually the bolt to it for the upper engine mount bolt. Sorry, that one is, because it's slightly shorter. I had them thread that for me as well, because I cut it off to length and I've had them put a thread on there for me as well while they had it, so it could be bolted up. So this is the standard bolt, so I can run that through now, straight through, nice and straight, and thread it on here. So I'm just going to try that, mount this back on the engine now, and see how it fits. Okay, I've just got the rear mounts in position now. I think basically it's ready to go to the machine shop now, but that's how it's going to look. That's the bolt going through. I've used one of the engine spacers here and the CBR1000 rear engine mounts as well, and I'm thinking a little block of aluminium welded onto the frame here like that. Same the other side, bolted through here, and then a spacer made up for the correct distance there, and then that's the rear mount sorted as well. So just the front ones to go on. Okay, done a bit more playing around tonight. Got all the injectors on, airbox on, just to see how much clearance we've got on the tank with the airbox on. And as I thought, it's quite high. I'm going to have to cut the front section out of the tank, I think, to clear the airbox. If we have a look at the inside of the tank, I think from about here I'm going to have to cut into it right up to about here and open, well, probably just cut this whole inner section out and just leave that completely open, just the outer shell there, and then build it up here, and then put the fuel pump on a flat piece here. So it may actually be easier just to cut the whole inner section of the tank out actually, and then refabricate it from scratch really, I think. So there we go, that's the looks like what we're talking about here. So, but what is quite interesting is you can see the inlet there into the airbox, and what the stock bike has is this like ram air piece which slots on and goes on like that, but I won't be able to fit that because of the radiator. It's going to obscure the radiator. So what I'm probably going to do is run some tubing, either from the small hole in the front of the cowl on the 900 fairing, or just run the tubes from somewhere, bringing in some fresh air directly into here, and probably have something over here like the standard mat the 900 has, just to keep the heat soak from sucking too much hot air in there. And we don't want to be reducing power after all this effort, so that's the plan, I think. Another issue I've faced tonight is the frame support. There's no way the airbox is going to go on with the frame support on still, so I've had to cut it off. You can see it here, it was across the frame there, but that airbox, it wouldn't go basically. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, whether I need to put an additional support in somewhere or run without it. I'll have to have a think, best way to approach it. I might be able to put one in a bit lower down perhaps and come across here, but yeah, so that's another challenge to face and to beat, but we'll see.